you're new to Hong Kong and need a new home here in this beautiful city, or you just want to move from one apartment to another, finding a new home in Hong Kong can prove to be a bit challenging. So today I'm going to share you 5 tips to help you find your dream home in Hong Kong. Tips number 1, find and set your needs. Your needs are about the location. Look at where you're gonna work, where your kids are going to go to school, what neighborhoods you like, where you like to hang out, go to the gym, exercise. That will set the locations that you can live in. In terms of needs, you can also define the size, the minimum size that you need for you and your family, or just for yourself if you live by yourself. Set what minimum size you need in terms of square feet, because in Hong Kong we use square feet. Set the number of bedrooms you need. In Hong Kong, that's the beauty of this city. We have everything. You can live in a tiny apartment to a big mansion, or even on a boat, but you need to define the number of bedrooms you're gonna need. There's studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, up to 5 or even 6 bedrooms apartment and houses here. So define the minimum that you need, and then think about the facilities. Some buildings, especially the more modern buildings, they have facilities like a swimming pool. They give you access to shuttle buses. They have a gym or a playground for the kids. So do you need this? And otherwise, would you prefer have a home in a more colonial style, older building that will give you more space for the same amount of money, but of course you won't have the comfort of these facilities? Another thing you need to check and keep in mind is that some landlords and some buildings allow pets and some don't. So if you have a pet, a dog, a cat, whatever pet you have, this will be a need. You will need a place where pets are allowed. Again, the building and the landlord. So that's something you want to inform your agent about. And also some families choose to have a maid in Hong Kong, and so you want to find a place with a maid's room. Usually it's connected to the kitchen to provide privacy to her and to your family. And also there's 2 types of maid quarters. There's one where there is only the bedroom, and others include a bathroom for her to have, so she won't need to share the bathroom with the rest of the family. So some families even choose to have live-out maids. I don't recommend that because the law doesn't allow it, but that's something you want to keep in mind to have more potential homes for yourself if you don't have to have the maid's room in the apartment. Advice number 2, set your desires. What would you like your new home to have that does not necessarily come in an apartment? For example, if you cook a lot, you may want to have an oven or a dishwasher in your kitchen. That does not come standard in Hong Kong. It may be in your home country, but not in Hong Kong. For your bathroom, would you like to have a bathtub or a shower? Would you like your flat to have a balcony or a terrace or a rooftop? Would you like to have your apartment to have a mountain view or a sea view? Some flats in Hong Kong have incredible views. So of course it's a premium to pay, but that can be really extraordinary. You have the chance to have that in Hong Kong, and maybe you want that for your new home. Would you like the place to be really bright with high ceilings? That's more common in older buildings. So all these desires that you have, write them in a piece of paper and keep them in mind, but also set what you're ready to compromise on. It's hard to have everything in one property, in the right location, at the right price. You can't tailor make your apartment. It's not like you're making a suit for yourself where you can choose exactly what you want. So you will have to deal with what's available on the market at the moment that you need your place. So find out first, as I mentioned before, your needs, set what are your desires, your expectations, and also keep in mind what you are ready to compromise on. Advice number 3, do your homework. Do some research, especially if you're new to Hong Kong, you're not familiar with the local market, the locations. So ask your colleagues if you're already working, ask your friends if you have friends who are living or have lived in Hong Kong before. Look online, videos like this one, or blogs, any website that can share some tips and information about properties in Hong Kong. And also, you want to do research on not only what's available, but you want to know everything about the prices, so that when you find a property that you like, you will be sure that you're paying the right price. And you want to do some research about the transportation, because as I mentioned, you want to find an apartment depending for the location, depending on where you're going to work, where your kids are going to go to school, etc. But it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be close to these places. Transportation in Hong Kong is extremely convenient and very reliable. So one place can look a bit far from where you need to go often, but if you do a bit of research, you will see that with the subway or with buses, it can be really quick to go there. So you want to find out what is the easy and quick transportation to reach the places you're going to go to often. Advice number 4, find a good agent. You can ask your friends, your colleagues, you can check online, look at the referrals on the company's website to see the opinion of former clients of these agents, and start visiting properties with that agent. And if you have a good feeling, you feel that this person knows his market and is trustworthy, and that you're happy to work with that person, you can actually stay with that person throughout your entire visits of apartments. In other words, you don't need 10 different agents to see 10 different properties. One agent can show you all the properties available in Hong Kong, as long as that agent is either has all the listings directly or is willing to share his commission with another agent by doing some collaboration. And that's especially true with the agencies that can take you throughout Hong Kong, especially if you want to check different districts. Some agencies can take you in these different districts, like my agency, but some other bigger names actually have local branches, meaning that one agent working in that specific branch in that specific location will tend to stick to that area. So if you really want to have one agent work for you throughout the process of visits, you may want to look for an agency that can actually offer you that with their agents. Advice number 5, take your time. If you're new to Hong Kong, stay in a hotel or in a serviced apartment for a couple of weeks to give you the time to look for the right property. If you're already living in Hong Kong, start looking for property in your flexible period and not at the last minute. Give yourself the time. Sometimes it can take a couple of months to actually find the property that you will love. It's really important. It's going to be your home for at least 1 year, maybe a lot more. So it's important that you allow yourself some time to find it and not be in a rush, because if you're in a rush, you're going to have to accept what's available to you at that moment. And actually, not only you need to take your time, but my other advice on this is to be quick. When you do find the right property, a place that you really like and that you think is at the right price, be quick on it. You have been taking your time for that process of finding the home, but now it's time to be really quick, because if you like the property, it's likely that another person or other people will like that property as well, and then you may miss it. Someone else might sign a contract and lock it for himself, and you can't have that property anymore, or a contract may not be signed, but an offer may already be made, and so you will have to start a bidding war with that competing person who is also interested in that property, and that's something you don't want. There is no interest to be in a bidding war with other people, and that will only take up the rent, and it will make the negotiation for your rent really difficult. So this 5th advice, take your time, but be quick. I hope that this video is going to be helpful to you and that you will find the right home in Hong Kong. I've been a property agent here for over 3 years, so if you have other questions, feel free to get in touch with me. My contact details are in the description below. Also, if you want to share ideas and suggestions with other people watching this video, you can use the comments. And if you have other topics for my coming videos that I will make in the future, feel free to share your suggestions. I will be happy to make new videos and help you find your dream home in Hong Kong.